The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Thursday, the 23rd day of February, 2023. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House One Communications and Lindo's. She's Sherry Vanderpool, who needs a new damn phone or something. Jamal Hart.
No, I'm not.
Maya Palacio will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Sherry, you have an iPhone?
I do.
Grow up.
I am grown. Actually, I'm older than you, as you kindly remind me each day. So yeah, I'm grown.
Well, if you were grown, you first off be as tall as me, which you're not, right?
I'm sure I put on a couple of inches with my bun today.
Yeah,
even taller than you.
That's cheating, Sherry. That's cheating. Yeah, whatever. Anyway,
Swing your legs, and
keep talking about my legs. Keep talking about my legs. Anyway, how you doing, Sherry? It's been a while.
It's been a week. It's been good. Things are good. Work busy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So other than that,
I like the bun.
thank you. Do you like my earrings? They are Bermuda made.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
I
easel art.
I didn't notice them until you turned to the side. Maybe I should get some as well.
Yes, for your wife, Easel Art Studio.
What are we really giving free promotion on the show? Like, did they pay us?
A little.
We need money, folks. Hey, give us $2 for every time she mentions your name. That's it. Just $2. My goodness.
Just a little, not too much. Last time you didn't see them.
I didn't see it. No, they look nice. I like them. I like them.
Thank you.
What colors you got on today?
Black. On the earrings, it's gold and blue.
Yeah, the earrings. I couldn't see.
Okay. Blue.
Oh, okay. Blue and gold.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm glad you got blue one because I've been being abused by a 6-year-old this morning about cock match, and it's like 5 months away. So
yes.
Yeah, your nephew Maddox told her sending me
Yes.
notes this morning. Yes.
Good for him. Yes. Yeah,
You
absolutely. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine. He's a Somerset fan, and he's starting early.
Oh, okay.
I'm not mad at him.
Okay. Well, on that note, because you're just encouraging this rude behavior, greetings everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome Stephany Outerbridge on from the Coalition for the Protection of Children, and we're talking about their One Love program. So, looking forward to this conversation. It's an informative, educational one. The Daily Play is a name that plays, so she could be all rude right now, but yeah. Larry got yesterday. He got I didn't choose it, and remember, he was not supposed to be on yesterday. So, folks, he went to school in North Carolina, so obviously he was gonna get that question right because that song was very popular during his time in school, but he's got a little arrogance to him. Like, I didn't even get to play my music. You know what I'm saying, Sherry?
That's fine. I mean, it is what it is. You seem to give like easy ones on music day, and that's not the day that I'm on, and so you just there are some biases, but it's all right. It's cool.
The accusations on this show are just extreme. But anyway, if you haven't already, folks, please make sure you register to become a member of the TDH community. Just fill out the application on our website, thedailyhour.com, or hit the join button on our YouTube channel. Help us go beyond the mic to continue to make a difference in our community. Sherry, we had a great conversation yesterday. As someone said to me via WhatsApp, Craig Simmons literally cut the government's ass yesterday. Not my words, but someone else's. And he really he came out, was very direct as he always is, and
Oh yeah.
good conversation. But and we'll be talking a lot more about the budget in the coming days and weeks. The medical tourism thing is pretty big. The payroll tax, and just some of these lofty promises that seem to be made by the government. But this morning, we're just going to carry on from the Instagram post that we had last evening, which is pretty much asking people. I mean, your government isn't helping much, just to be clear, right? But the private sector is there. The private sector is what's gonna, what drives economies, not government. So what
Mhm.
can the private sector do to help the community a bit more during difficult times? And we got quite a few answers on our Instagram page, but I think I saw something yesterday. It was a company, Athene, just showing what they contributed to the community over the last year, which I found interesting. Found it very interesting.
Okay.
Found it interesting. And obviously, we have the coalition on today, so they were, I believe, I could be wrong, but they may have been named as recipients from Athene as well. But I found it. I don't think I've seen a company, and they may do it because I don't read the news every day. Well, I do, but not in depth. But it was interesting to see a company share what they have contributed to the community. And one of the things they didn't put there was how many Bermudians they have hired or how many Bermudian jobs are there. To me, I always quote Craig Cannon there back in 2020 when he said, jobs are the answer to charity or community, right?
Mm.
So I guess, just looking at the question, really trying to understand or get an idea of what can the private sector to do to fill gaps during difficult times. Now, for me, there was an article in the Royal Gazette just a couple of days ago. The chamber budget breakfast was held on Monday. So, folks, if you're not familiar with that, that's a breakfast that's held usually on the following week from the budget. And I want to pull up, to me, it's not even about monetary or community, but there was a gentleman in there. Here it is. International business issues warning over budget. And
Mhm.
the gentleman in this story is is it Christopher Schaefer? He's the deputy chairman of the Association of Bermuda Insurers and Reinsurers. Said that added financial burdens to companies made it more difficult to bring talent to the island. Interesting, because we've had a chat about attracting talent to Bermuda, or the best talent.
Yeah.
But to me, what he's doing, what those people are doing in that space, challenging the premier and the government, goes in line with one of the responses, Sherry. And I'll go through the responses now, but one of the responses that we got to the question, what can the private sector do to help the community during difficult times? And the first answer was help hold the government accountable. Well, that's one of them. And I like that response. I really love that response, because that response says that this gentleman, I don't know him, but that's what he was kind of doing.
Yeah.
You can't just, honestly, the number one question I got yesterday after Craig Simmons, coming from people all angles, saw him outside, on the street, phones, whatnot. Yeah, but how do we hold the government accountable? Number one, stop thinking those who do are troublemakers. Stop thinking those who do are the bad people. Stop.
That's number one, right?
Yeah, and then it's not going to happen if you're so comfortable. Like, literally, some people just live holiday to holiday. Oh, we're thinking Bermuda Day. We're thinking cut match. We're thinking Christmas party season. Like, it's not going to happen when we live in a comfortable space. So help hold the government accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go through the responses, and then we could jump in, Sherry. So the responses on Instagram is to the question, what can the private sector do to help the community during difficult times? All right, that's the question. And where is it? Let's put it up on the screen. What can the private sector do to help the community a bit more during difficult times? First response we got was help hold the government accountable. Second response, help the government with social programs which government fails to implement. Interesting.
That would be me.
Did you put that?
No, I didn't, but that was my thought. But go ahead.
Support youth and sports programs, which I think they do. I think they do, but again, they can probably do a bit more. Assist government with efficient operations, but providing advice. Well, yeah, efficiency. Truly invest in the community. Now, whoever put this, I'd like to know what you mean by truly invest in the community. What does that look like? And then someone else says, it already does so much. So those are the responses we got.
So my response to is they already do so much. I would like it not to be so much that they are title sponsor in big events, right? So we have some of them as title sponsors in big events, but I'm on the spectrum of the community and smaller athletes or athletes that are trying to do something within for themselves, who have come from humble beginnings and need assistance to go farther. Those are the things that would help for a person to move forward in the community. When you are putting more money into those programs to allow children to be able to see a little bit further than what they've been given. When we talk about how do you hold the government accountable, we all have voices and we have a choice. We do have choices, and we can choose to do certain things and we can choose not to. Or, as you said, Jamal, we can go from Christmas to Christmas to this to that. So it's all about choice. But as far as difficulties, I would like for them to put more into our youth and community on the lower levels. Like, we have so many football clubs that need assistance, cricket clubs, sailing, jiu-jitsu. We have so many different programs that could use a boost to encourage or for more students to attend.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think I go that route as well, Sherry. I think when it comes to and Larry and I spoke about this recently as I was watching back one of the shows recently. I'm going to use Dage Minus for an instance. Dage Minus is doing a thing. Like, I mean, this brother just ran a mile under 4 minutes. A mile under 4 minutes.
Listen, Jamal.
The private sector should be running towards Dage Minus to let me put our name on your chest. This is a young brother. You don't hear about his name in any trouble. He's dedicated to his craft, right? Good brother. For me, I mean, when I hear you mention sports, I'm saying, yes, let's go right to get behind this young man, right?
Yeah,
because
boxing.
To me, it then says to the other young person, you know what? There is an opportunity to do this. There is an opportunity to make this. And we've heard track athletes especially speak about how difficult it is. It's not like a football or a basketball player where there's a draft to go and become a professional athlete. So to me, when I think sports, I think a person like you.
And individual sports too, right? Because when you talk about those team sports, that there's usually maybe a little bit more given to them, maybe. But when you talk about individual, when you talk about golfing, we had, Quentin Sherlock on not too long ago. When you talk about the expense that kind of entails, when you talk about, Nicky Baskelman boxing, he has a whole gym, that is for the community.
Yeah, and I think it's the results that they're delivering that should attract it. And, someone said Baylor's Bay Cricket Club sponsors Dage as there's no funding support from the island. And I'm not saying a community club shouldn't, but the community club needs the financial backing as well from the private sector, right? So, from you all know me, I worked very closely with my community club when I was based in Bermuda Noah Village. And one of the things that, I believe that our community clubs should not have to rely on government. I've always said that, regardless of who the government is, the government should not be funding them. I believe the private sector there should be something in there. Now, I know many of them, provide scholarships and, things like that, but those awards are usually singular, right? Work with some of these clubs. Look at how it works in professional sports, right? Look at Bermuda clubs like that. Set some parameters, right? Say, look, I don't want to name a club. I'm very close to one right now physically, but let's just say Sherry and Jamal's Bar, right? A bar football club. Sherry and Jamal's Bar football club, right? There's been a few incidents here. You work with the private sector. They say, look, clean up your image. You know, we this is the kind of thing, and we'll give you a guarantee 10 grand a year. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you, things will change. It can impact our community, and when you do stuff like that, it helps the entire community.
It filters out.
It helps the expats that want to engage with locals in a local space. Expats might more of them start showing up down North Village Field to a football game or Rangers or Baylor's Bay. You know what I'm saying? So it's a bigger community thing, right?
And they want to.
I'm talking. I'm sorry, you all. I'm sorry. Let's go to the audience.
Oh, right.
Question of the morning is: what can the private sector do to help the community a bit more during difficult times? We shared some responses from Instagram page. Sam Cat Place says Athene Reed just sponsored or donated $100,000 to a community program. Sam Cat must be coming in late this morning. We actually spoke about Sam Cat Place. Yes, they did. We mentioned them. That's actually why we're probably asking the question. But yeah, she said, I don't expect IB to keep bailing Bermuda out of a hole that government created and keeps making deeper. They cannot do it all. But it's not financial. It's not financial. And that's what I want people to understand. And I know some people would don't tune in from the start, but it's not always financial. I think what the gentleman, you remember his name, Sherry? The guy. Schaefer. He's said at the chamber breakfast, to me, holding the government accountable is part of it. It doesn't always have to be financial. But what I will say is, it's not bailing Bermuda out of a hole that government created for us. It's not about the government. It's about the community. And I think we must not mix those two up.
It's leveling the community out.
Yeah.
And being able for them to be able to be self-sufficient in some type of way and being able to do more.
Correct.
Rather than that.
Correct. Like we have people that put on events. They shouldn't have to feel like they have to go to government. They shouldn't have to feel like they're just going to government. They should feel like there's open doors at these international companies to go to for sponsorship and so on, things like that. And again, Sam Cat Place, regarding Athene, I don't know if that's normal, but I found it very interesting that they're sharing that, because you all know when it comes to charity how I feel about it. Sancha and I butt heads about it, right? She usually wins, but that's not the point.
That's my girl.
My point is that in a fair and just world, there would be no need for charity. And that's the kind of world I want. Mm-hmm. I want a world where we don't have to, for me, charity is not for us, it's for rich people, especially in the United States of America. It's tax season. Especially. Ask me how. Yes. So it's really, if you want to make a difference, you have to go beyond charity. It's about community. And there is a difference between charity and community. Community is results based. It's based on actual people and things. Charity, it's a numbers thing. I'm not saying that we shouldn't give to people. What I'm saying is that it shouldn't be, if we do for you, if we donate something to you, you go and tell the world about it, not us. Mm-hmm. So very interesting. Charles H. Jeffers II says, not just expats, Jamal, but also visitors. And I think he's speaking to my comment about, community for all in terms of getting people out to Bermuda's local bars and sports games and so on. But he's correct. Right. People ask all the time when I was in tourism, so what do Bermudians like to do? I was like, I like to go out and hang out police club, or get a little beverage and go to a football game and a cricket game or something. But how many visitors do you really see doing that stuff if it's not cop match or a cunny game, right?
Right.
So
or somebody that's visiting you personally, right?
Correct. And then they complain about the price of fries at the game and something like that. But anyway, It happens. Folks, what are your thoughts? You're quiet this morning. What can the private sector do to help the community a bit more during difficult times? What are your thoughts? What do you think they can do? Again, I'll just go through the Instagram responses, which were very interesting. I found the last one most interesting, which we'll go through. But we've got that, not that. Here we go. Help hold the government accountable, which I love that because I think that's what the chamber breakfast they were doing. That's good work by the private sector right there.
Mm-hmm.
Help the government with social programs, which government fails to implement. I don't know about helping the government. I believe helping the community.
Right. And I was going to say we can bypass the government in that sense and go straight to the communities, the different clubs, the different programs all over the island and do what needs to be done in that sense. And if not, then those leaders in those communities need to approach the private sector. I would be interested to see or to know how many have approached private sectors and what has been the outcome of that approach.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I like that, Sherry. Trying to what has the response been from the private sector for those who have gone? Yeah. Another one, support youth and sports programs. Yeah, I mean, they'll say they support sailing, but yeah.
How many of us are sailing?
Assist government with efficient operations, but providing advice. Again, I think there's a separation between government and the community, but I see their point. And then truly invest in the community. Would like to get more details about what that means. And then the person says already does so much. The private sector already does so much. I'll say this much. Regardless of what we're doing, you know how you're in school and your mom, dad, you bring all him A's and they say, well, you can always do better. There's always something you can do better. You know, I mean, it was D's and C's, but anyway, it was
not me
to do better. Yeah, you're a goody two shoes. But the point is, there's never enough. As long as there are people struggling in a community, there's never enough. Trust me. If someone, your neighbor, is struggling, it's never enough. As long as there's not a cure for cancer, there's never enough. As long as there are children who need meals, there's never enough. The point is, I don't think we should be so arrogant to say that anyone, billion-dollar companies, who are reporting record profits while people in that tiny little community struggle are already doing enough. It's time to bring Maya Palacio in.
It really is. It really is. Yeah. Please bring her in.
Yeah. You're going to get me in trouble.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi, Maya. What, you were dancing backstage or something?
I was in a box trying to get out because you wouldn't let me in.
Oh.
I figured that out, and I'm like, Maya.
See how they do me, right, folks? See how they do me. Well, Maya, did you want to jump in on the convo, or no, you want to go straight to your news?
I would jump in the convo real quickly. I would say I would love to see more private sectors actually invite more of the clubs around Bermuda to their space, either to teach them about what their business does and grow connection, maybe helping them to see how they could probably be a part of this business in the future, something like that, to actually connect and know each other other than just giving money every once in a while or something like that, get to really know people, because people are what matters. And I think it'll be very helpful to learn about life insurance or whatever's going on over there, because a lot of times we feel so disconnected from that space. Invite us to that space. Let us know it's not something that's impossible to reach.
Yeah. And it's
like a mixer.
I'm glad you said that, Maya, because one of the things, and I'll use us as the best example, is one of the things that, I spoke with Sanchi yesterday, we're trying to do with like Linda's as we head to in the spring. We're doing something with them regarding the environment. And obviously we have KBB as a partner, but one of the goals that we have as a company, and we had chats with looks like one of our new sponsors coming on board, is focusing on energy, helping our community with energy and so on. So we're literally trying to align our partnerships on this show with things that are gonna help our community. Before it was all about, hey, we want to get funding and so that we can make this work. But now it's, when you're going forward, it's all about aligning with things that basically make sense with what your overall vision is. So I like that. So during that, we'll be learning more about how we can conserve energy and help the environment, and plastics, stop using single-use plastics and so on. But I think that there's got to be an educational component more than just money when it comes to partnerships, sponsorships, and charity.
Mm-hmm. And before I start the news, I'll say one last thing about it, is that I know that people want to do more when they know more, and we get distracted and busy. So I would even challenge the clubs to just reach out to a company or corporation that you want to actually work with and be a part of. Because I've seen a lot of people who head companies and head different organizations and charity have to reach out multiple times, but people are willing to help you. They just need you to also say it too. Even though we want them to come to us all the time, go to them too. Don't be afraid to do that. And the only thing they can say is no.
But you know what that is, Maya? And I'll tell you. It's sales. It's sales. And as a person who's been in sales, folks, what is it? You call 100 people and only 3 may give you a yes. So it's cold calling. Yeah,
it sounds like we need a community mixer. That's what it sounds like.
Something.
Okay.
I need 10% of my idea.
All right, Sister Jerry. All right, Maya, what you got for us?
All right. Good morning, everyone. This is the Daily Hour News Break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. And this morning, we're starting up with some very sad news. A 50-year-old man died yesterday after possibly experiencing a medical episode before colliding with a taxi while on his motorcycle on South Road in Warwick. Police report that they found the 50-year-old man unresponsive, lying face down on the roadway. The man was immediately transported to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. And motorists are advised that the Bermuda Police Service will be conducting road sobriety checkpoints as well in the 7 parishes as of tonight until Sunday.
Sad.
Is that the police response to the incidents as of late, or they were doing that already, They
were doing that already, but they want to advise the community from that as well. But the report of the death is still under investigation as to whether or not it is Bermuda's 4th road fatality, because they haven't quite finished that investigating of it. Obviously, and unfortunately, the man did die at the scene, but he was pronounced dead at the hospital. So it's extremely sad news. This is February, 2nd month, and we're already facing what could be the 4th road fatality on the island.
All right. Sincere condolences, family, friends.
Very much so.
Again. Right.
Exactly. And coming up as well, this might be, and hopefully happy news for the family, a 15-year-old Tyra Paris who was reported missing yesterday, but thankfully was located this morning around 5 a.m. The police did send out a report early this morning for that.
Okay. Glad she's been found safe.
Yes, definitely. And some happier news, if you didn't already know, Bacardi is having a Give Back to Black vendor market, promotes small Black-owned businesses here on the island. It's going to be on this Friday, from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Bacardi headquarters on the Gardens. There's going to be tons of different vendors there, like Ashley's Lemonade, Strange Bird, Dove and Butterfly, Jamie Madison, and a lot more. So definitely, if you have the time, get out there, support, and be a part of this community event.
I'm a beater. I'm a beater. Coming, Mike?
I'm going to be there on my lunch break.
Can anybody tell me what Strange Bird is real quick? No? Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
What is it, Sherry? What is it, Sherry?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to tell us something right there.
Yes,
and also,
it was a trivia question, right?
It was a trivia question?
She asked like it was.
Well, we're going to find out before the end of this episode, I'm sure. Coming up next, as you all may have heard me report yesterday, well, tonight we have the Honorable Nalthea Butterfield will be hosting a Zoom meeting about the history of those who have paved the way to make our life easier. It's a discussion of history, education, and remembrance, which will take place again tonight, 7 p.m. on Zoom. So if you have the time, definitely hop into that conversation as well.
Nalitha.
Do I not say Nalitha?
You said Nalthea?
Nalthea. Why did I say that? I do apologize. Yeah. Nalitha Butterfield.
No, always a good time if honey.
Yes.
Check that out if you all have time. Check that out.
I needed to correct you, Maya, before I got corrected.
Thank you, Sherry. I'm so used to saying Miss Butterfield that sometimes I forget the first name. I do apologize. Last on the list today, and I know that some people might be feeling a little bit uneasy about the budget or even hopeful about the budget, but just stay tuned because there's going to be a lot more conversations about it. And obviously, every minister has to talk about their budget as well. We got an upcoming conversation as well with Jamal and the Petty Commissioner Officer too coming in on March. So just stay a little bit more in tune to that. I know that it can be kind of tiresome to talk about these things, but please, please, please stay informed. And lastly, we have a road closure notice. There will be Velco cabling pulling operations commencing today, Thursday, on Store Hill Road at North Shore Road Junction. And then they will also be moving to Smiths Parish afterwards. But it's said to be commenced on Store Hill Road work for about 3 weeks. So just remember that for those who are on the roads and who travel on that way.
Okay, never mind. No, I was going to ask.
That's it.
No, not well. Anybody been to Pincus?
Uh,
Some people from my job have been to Pinkies, and I know there's been a lot of contradicting good and bad from people, but from my job and Ozark, everyone said good so far. Pricey, but the burger was good for them.
I'm going to give them a year to work out the kinks, is what I said.
Yeah, it's still early days. It's still very much so early days.
Yeah, okay. That's it.
Okay.
Did you have a 2 cent to put in, Jamal?
Well, I mean, since you asked.
Oh my gosh, Maya, you walked right into
you asked. Here's the thing, I say this respectfully. Anyone who opens a business in Bermuda and is relying on Bermudians to support it, you deserve so much grace. You deserve so much respect because you can have the best business in the world. And it's going to think about Chico and Tees when they first opened. They went and did a video because I can't remember, was it someone didn't like the nachos or something? So they went and made a video, apologized. It was like within a week. Mm-hmm. It's gonna come with a lot of criticism, and no matter what it is. But I also want to say this. I hope that anyone, and I'm speaking to small Black businesses in particular, since Picard is doing that, do not be discouraged in the early days. You gotta keep pushing. If you believe in what you're trying to provide for people, you have got to keep going. Because I guarantee you, the loud voices are not always the most effective. Mm-hmm. Respond to those critiques, those criticism, that bad nonsense, whatever. Respond to it with dignity and grace and try your best to fix those problems. Now, I'm not going to support you because I don't eat fast food like that. But for those who do, just respond to them in a manner that is going to continue to put offer jobs in your community, opportunities. And I'm not just saying jobs for you, because he said to build this, you're creating jobs, to put it together. There's IT people to help it work. Bermudians have been screaming for a drive-through.
Yeah.
Bermudians, my words to you now is, if you don't like something, you don't always have to be so loud about it. I had a bad experience this week with a restaurant. It's not for Majesty or People's List. It's not even for Sherry and Maya. It's my experience. They may go and enjoy it tomorrow. Sometimes the best response is just don't go back.
Yeah.
I'm trying to kill there's people that just got jobs, folks. Like, think about the person that's their job that they've looked for. I'm sorry, Maya, but I just had to. Mm-hmm. Because we are a community who sometimes we are our own worst enemy. Stop it. If you don't like something, just don't go back.
And I think when people do give those critiques, they need to indicate, this was my experience. It may not be yours, but this is what I experienced. Mm-hmm. I'll go back. I usually will go back at a different time or another time to see if that experience can change. Mm-hmm. And then I kind of make a final decision from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's fair. That's fair. That's fair, honestly. And again, all of our experiences are going to be different. So I know that, I'm sorry, Maya, that came to mind because I just want people to really think beyond their complaints. Now, I'm going to say this lastly, that video by Mr. Photogenic was hilarious. Right? Try cry. That's hilarious. I'll give him that. I'll give him that. Good. Maya, what's the weather looking like?
Well, the weather is looking mostly sunny skies today and some high clouds at times. Last night's sunset was actually really beautiful. I don't know if everyone got to see a photo of that, but that was so gorgeous. And today we have a high of 72 degrees Fahrenheit, so a lot warmer than yesterday, and the sun's going to be out.
Thank you. No rain. No rain. Yeah. I'll do my best to see as many people as I can today. You all, I've been working. I'm in the office. I can't be out. Sherry, what's the days of the year? Give us something good.
I almost forgot about that. But today is Play Tennis Day. This day is dedicated to playing tennis, a racket sport that one is the most popular sports to play and watch in the world. Tennis is a sport that can be played by anyone, including Jamal, regardless of where they are from and what their status is. It can be played against single opponents between two players. You can hold a racket, Jamal. You can play tennis.
I can't see over the ring in the center. What's that? The net.
Absolutely.
Oh my day.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I didn't want to really say it.
Real quickly before Maya goes, my wife makes a great point, and Nikki Hartman says the best response is to provide constructive comments directly to the Business Management 101. And as was Rosalind Thaman, she says, and channel it through management first. And I think that's it right there. Like my wife and I, we go, well, pandemic ruined that, but we go on Friday night dates, right? And so every restaurant was different, but we honestly never complain. You just don't go back. I want us to do better in how we respond to challenges. There are people and jobs and businesses. If you don't like this show, don't watch, or watch when I'm not on, watch when these guys are on, but it's not gonna, come on. We've got to do better. We've got to do better. The amount of businesses that hurt my feelings and I don't come on this show and down them, because it's not about me. My experience is unique, I hope. Anyway, Maya, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Have a great conversation. Bye, Sherry. Bye, Jamal.
Oh, my sister. All right. Stephany Outerbridge coming up, folks. And I'm going to put her on the spot now because she might not like me doing it much to her, but she just was, I saw Baylor's Bay post and she just got another degree. And so let's give her a round of applause. You know what I'm saying? Stephany doing her thing. So congratulations to our guest today. We're going to take a quick break and welcome her on, and she's going to tell us what her degree is, hopefully. All right. Stick with us, folks. Sherry, I don't know why Maya treat me like that.
I do.
Let's face it, life can be a little wild, but shopping doesn't have to be. I choose People's, so that whether it's a prescription that needs to be filled, a toy for my little terror, or a gift for a new addition to the family, we'll see about that. Everything's available in one convenient location. Some call it People's. I call it my one-stop shop in the city. People's, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dandytown Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
Back to the big show, Sherry Vanderpool. I'm Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Folks, make sure you're registered to become a member of the TDH community. Just go on our website, hit the register button. It's right beneath our picture. You know that picture where Sherry's doing something, pinching me in my back. That's the picture right there. Or you can just hit the join button under the YouTube video and just help us grow beyond the mic to continue to make a difference in our community. We have so many more things that we will be doing as we enter the spring and summer months. So rock with us. We want to rock with you. Without further ado, bit behind, but we will get through this entire important conversation with our guest today. Let's give a warm welcome to Stephany Outerbridge from the Coalition for the Protection of Children.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Stephany. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing well, thanks.
Yeah.
Steph.
I should say welcome back. Welcome back.
Yes, yes,
So you know Sherry like that?
I do.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Whatever.
But look, Stephany, first off, before we jump in, congratulations again, and tell us a bit about your degree. What's your latest personal accomplishment?
Thank you. So I went through 18 long months of doing an online degree for my master's in developmental psychology. I just believe that, the way we grow and develop our kids kind of result in who they are as adults, right? So we want them to be impactful. We want them to contribute to our community and grow up to be stand-up human beings. So that was my whole, goal behind getting my degree. With that said, I am the program manager at the Coalition for the Protection of Children. Our mission is to basically advocate for the public, address those issues that come up with children, and provide services to our families that sometimes may be critical, but also unmet needs.
Congratulations again. Yeah, sure.
Congrats. So, Stephany, with your work with teens, are you finding that teens are reporting being in abusive relationships, or are they not even realizing that they are? And if so, what are some of the signs parents and adults should be aware of?
So just to start off, this is Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, right? And we have this program at CPC called One Love, which was founded by a young lady, Yardley Love, in Virginia. She was actually tragically killed by her ex-boyfriend after they had broken up. So her parents started this great foundation to kind of warn teens about the signs of unhealthy relationships. And we talk about love a lot, as far as, you should love your parents, love your friends, love your family, but we never really are explained to what that is, right? So we hear this word love, and we're just expected to kind of navigate it ourselves. So our program that we offer to middle school and high school students basically gives them the tools that they need to navigate relationships, whether it be friendships, parent-child relationships, or even intimate relationships. And some of the signs that we ask teens to look out for are betrayal, intensity, possessiveness, deflecting, belittling, isolation, different things like that. And these are things that we don't talk about in our day-to-day lives. These are things that, we offer in the program so that teens can have a better idea of what those unhealthy signs look like while they're in these relationships.
And it's been so many times that we've had these unhealthy signs and just have no clue what they are, because we're so caught up in the rapture of love. But in this workshop, what are the objectives a teen should be able to take away from it?
So it's a series of workshops, actually. We do them. There's so many different examples of what love can look like in unhealthy and healthy relationships. But some of the things we want our teens to know is, spotting those signs, being able to tell when something seems unsafe or is going in the wrong direction. We want them to be able to engage in healthy conversation around relationship behaviors, practice these healthy relationships, communicate boundaries and set limits, and also giving consent, right? Because a lot of times we don't even talk about what consent looks like in a relationship. Other things would be helping friends to navigate their relationships, being able to kind of navigate your own endings of relationships, and how to access resources if you are in a particular situation that is unsafe.
I love that you're bringing up the word consent and what that looks like, because I think, again, we live in this kind of whole rapture of the whole energy and spirit of what love is, or what we think it is. And we're consenting to a whole lot. How common is teen dating violence occurring in Bermuda?
So looking at the statistics, 1 in every 3 women and nearly 1 in every 3 men experience some type of relationship abuse. Only 33% of teens actually report or even just notice that they're in an unhealthy relationship.
Wow.
Those stats are are quite high.
They are quite high. And with that being said, how can a parent be supportive to a teen that may be experiencing an abusive relationship?
So some of the things that we ask our parents to do is model these behaviors, right? Because in a household, we want parents to see whether you're with um, whether it's two parents in a household, one parent in a household, being able to model for your children what healthy relationships are, being able to have those conversations about their relationships and what's going on and how, we can access how we being the parent and the child. Also being able to model that with friends and family, having those positive connections with friends and family in front of your children so that they can see what really healthy relationships are supposed to look like.
Have you found that a lot of or some of social media, what is the role of social media when it becomes in regards to teen and abusive relationships?
So, of course, like I said, we talk about this word love and we watch it on television. We also have the radio talk shows that talk about, different types, not you guys, of course, but that talk about different types of situations that happen with, rappers and different movie stars as far as what their love and their relationships look like. Um, but some of the things that we don't address are the toxic parts of those relationships. So some of the relationships look all great. And, in the media, we look and these two, this is my what do they call it? Black love girls. I see some people
Yes.
post sometimes, and then I see other people, that are like, okay, this relationship's toxic, but then you go ahead and fall in that same toxic category because you've seen it. This is what's been modeled for you, and this is what you think is normal. So I think, the media has so much influence on our young teens, especially because right now they are addicted to social media. That's another topic on its own. But the things that they see on social media, will determine what they do in their relationships when they grow up if parents are not intervening and modeling those boundaries and telling them about the consent and allowing them to have those conversations about what they're going through in their relationship.
I think I'm listening to you, and it just seems like it's such a community problem. Everything to me just comes
Definitely.
back to community. Are there anything, I know you mentioned some signs, but what can we as a community, and when I say we, let's just use this show, like what role do we play in the education part of improving this?
I think becoming educated yourself, right? So if One Love has a website and the training is actually free to anyone. It's the joinonelove.org. And you can go on, take a look at the articles. They have different workshops that you can take. But I think for myself, becoming educated on the topic, because, you think you know the signs, you think you know all the things that you need to know about love, but going through this workshop, going online, reading people's stories, looking at the different workshops that they offer, and it is free. There is no sign up fee. Definitely broaden my horizons on the topic, and it helped me to try and get other students to kind of come on board and join the conversation as well. So when we go to a school and we facilitate the program, they have cute little video clips that explain exactly what love should look like versus what love is looking like for a couple. And it goes through the 10 signs of healthy and unhealthy relationships. And so those were the things that I had to learn to then kind of pass that down to the teens of today.
Wow. And I was going to ask you, you're going into, is it all the middle schools and our high schools to
So
give this
we have
workshop?
offered it to the middle schools and the high schools. We are just waiting for dates for Berkeley and Cedar Bridge. We have been in BHS, and we have sent letters out to the other middle schools. And of course, it's kind of the schools finding time to incorporate this in their schedule. So if any parents want to host small workshops with their teens and their friends who are willing to do that, we can do online workshops if that works better for the community, but we will be popping up, especially because this is the coalition's 30th year of operating, that we will have workshops going on consistently for the rest of the year.
And let me add this to it, Stephany, is it too young for at least the last year of the elementary schools?
So we do have videos that we can provide to the last year of the elementary schools, but what we do have in the elementary schools currently is our Safety Matters, which is an abuse prevention program, but geared more to the primary school level. So we kind of try and break it up to offer them that program first, and then once they get into middle and high school, offer them the One Love. So in Safety Matters, there are portions of One Love that are incorporated. So that kind of just segues into the One Love program once they get into middle school.
Got you. So where can the audience find more information about this program?
So you can go to www.joinonelove.org, or you can contact us at the Coalition on 295-1150, or email cpc@coalition.bm.
All right, Stephany Outerbridge, Coalition, thank you so much for this. And please continue to let us know how we can do our part to ensure that we are making some improvements in this space.
Perfect. And remember, it's Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. Orange is the color. So before the end of the month, throw in something orange in support of the topic.
An excuse to go and shop. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Stephany.
Have a great one.
You as well.
Folks, if you appreciated that conversation with Stephany Outerbridge, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like, and please share it. I think it's a very important conversation. Those numbers should trigger your conscience. Trust me. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be
control everything. Home security is important to keep you and your family safe. Motion-activated cameras around your home and security monitoring within create a complete security system providing protection both inside and outside your home. Professional monitoring means that there's someone on call with 24/7 protection to notify the authorities and help keep you and your loved ones safe. We are dedicated to whole home protection with
All right. Thanks again to Stephany Outerbridge from the Coalition for the Protection of Children and the work that they're doing. Folks, again, if you appreciated the information, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share the conversations with your friends, family, colleagues, anyone who maybe is impacted by this stuff or wants to make a difference in this stuff. Thanks again to One Communications, People's Pharmacy, Medical House, and Lindos for ensuring we're able to have these conversations. It's time for the Daily Play. Brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. Sister Sherry, are you ready?
Sure, Jamal.
All right, it's the name that plays today. All right, here we go. It's easy. It's easy.
That's what you said the last time.
Yeah. What is the name of the largest hot desert in the world?
Dubai. Yes, like no. What is in Dubai? I don't know, Jamal.
Audience, help her out.
The Sahara.
My goodness, one time on the buzzer.
It can't. I'll say the Sahara.
Yeah, they were saving you, Sherry. They were saving
you. I got it just in time.
You were saving you. They were saving. Yes, it is the Sahara, Sister Sherry.
Oh my goodness, I feel hot now.
Yeah. That I knew you'd get it. I had faith in you. I tell you, it was you. Anyway, real quickly, final thoughts on today's show. Obviously, we had the question about the private sector, what they can do, and then the conversation with Stephany.
And I find it very interesting, Jamal. We seem to have these conversations, the daily focus, and our discussions that seem to merge with each other, right? So, yes, the private sector definitely needs to put more funding into our community and help a lot of our young people be able to go to levels that wouldn't necessarily be able to be for them. In addition to Stephany, we have a month, a Teen Violence Abuse Awareness Month. That within itself is shocking. But I love what they're doing and to highlight the signs of different abusive relationships and toxic relationships that teens and youth need to know about. And parents is a wonderful, wonderful program to be about.
Indeed. With the private sector, as I said, there's always more that can be done. Never believe that, someone or any organization or business is doing everything they can. There's always more that can be done. I don't believe we should be relying on government, nor should we be reliant on the private sector. However, I think the private sector, in any community you're in, you have a responsibility to not give back, but to give in, to assist. It's the people in the community, whether they work for you or your clients overseas, but they're the ones that are keeping something with your business going, whether it's the lights, so on and so on. So I just hope the private sector, from a conscious perspective, does a bit more to help the people of Bermuda. Again, the example I use is Dage Miners. This brother, why isn't a company going to him? I know it's, we spoke about us going out to them and selling ourselves. Not all people are salespeople. Not all people have that personality. But if you see this brother out there doing that down Front Street, doing something a Bermudian's never done, why are we not reaching out to him to say, you know what? Hey, man, let's do this. Let's do that. I'll tell you why. Remember what I said about charity. Charity is for rich people. They would rather give to an organization that will make them look good than to one that needs them. And we've got to change that. So I'm not impressed when companies say, oh, I donated 100,000 to such and such organization. I like the results of what it means for people because, as Craig Kenner said, jobs over charity. The best job, the best charity is a job. I kind of agree with him on that. So as far as Stephany, again, I think I second what you said, Sherry, in terms of it's crazy that we actually have a month, as Sloan Johnson says, is Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month.
Yeah.
But that said, bringing awareness to it is so important. Addressing this, because I tell you what, many people watching today had no idea it existed. Sometimes the first thing we need to do is acknowledge that it's a problem, and then we can address it and find ways to help fix that problem. So thank you for Stephany for doing that, having this conversation. Audience, I really hope that you do share this information with not just your young people, but with your colleagues, friends, family, people who have young people or people who know young people. Sherry, you've got some daily inspiration for us?
Yeah, more of a, inspiration. Either you deal with what is the reality, or you can be sure that reality is going to deal with you. And that's from Alex Haley.
Well, folks, on that note, I like that one. I like that. Make sure you register to become a member of the TDH community. Just fill out the application on our website, thedailyhour.com. Through our YouTube channel, you can do it by just hitting the join button. But whatever you do, just help us go beyond the mic to continue to make a difference in our community. Thanks again to our partners, Medical Hours, One Communications, Windows, and People's Pharmacy, for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. She's Sherry Vanderpool. I'm Jamal Hartman. See ya. Peace.